Today's video is called The Artist's Muse and the Toilet Paper. Toilet paper design and museum level art is often motivated by the same dumb instinct. To please someone and not you, not necessarily your soul. But hey, if it pays the bills, do it now and again. But don't forget who you are, or you won't be an artist for very long. That's all I'm saying. That's my point. I'm not at all interested in arguing about which art movements or style is better, toilet paper or museum work. That being said, I talk about artist style versus artist voice a lot because I'm talking about your mask or persona, which is usually the guy or girl who meets the market and the world, versus talking about your soul, the one that you have to go home to and sleep with every day for your entire life. That is my point here. I made a short recently out of a long video and it went nuts because, I guess you could call some trigger words like art is rubbish and all these sorts of things. And that certainly did set the cat among the pigeons, but it actually wasn't what I meant. It wasn't the full extent of what I meant at all. Here's the thing. We blame the loss of art integrity all the time on greedy art dealers, dumb clients, sold out artists, corporate dogs, you name it. And then we eventually blame ourselves. That's what happens. If you just keep going and going, it all comes back to yourself. And we're sitting there calling ourselves useless, incompetent, no matter how much training or hard work we've done or soul digging. I just can't paint anymore. It's over. But what are we measuring ourselves by? You know, what makes us think we can't paint anymore because something changed? Generally, it's because you realised that you might want something more from your work than just pleasing the outside world. So I'm not discounting making money from your art. I think it's essential because if you do, you'll keep making it, right? But here we go. Why can't I do what I did so well when I sold all those paintings? That's the first place we go. What's the point? Why bother anymore? No one wants it now. And if it's not that, we don't want it anymore. That's how I felt. I wanted to throw it all away and go and be someone new, be something else. Or it might even be, why can't I even get a look in to sell just the first ones? Stuff it all. It was all for naught. The dreams, the wishes, or even the 40-year career. But here comes a very important point. It's a subtle point that few artists know how to negotiate. I guess you could say it's the secret. None of that stuff matters once you really get this. When you really get it, none of those complaints matter anymore. Things change. They become farts in the wind. And maybe it would take a while for this to sink in. Sometimes it takes an entire lifetime of painting. All the blaming that we do of others and ourselves is just a distraction, and it goes nowhere near the actual target when we take full responsibility for this. And while it's simple, it's really not easy to grasp fully. All the excuses and blaming are just, I guess you could say, like poisonous expander foam, you know, that you pump into houses for insulation or filling cracks. I'll tell you right now that the clue to your misery as an artist, and it's something that many suffering artists, both inexperienced and extremely experienced, often miss, This is the secret sauce, if you like. And I was going to hold back and not name it for a while, but then I thought, after all the comments that came in from that little viral Instagram short recently, I thought, no, just put it out there. And you might say, oh, duh, or something like that. But believe me, this is actually not as simple as it seems. But I thought, no, deliver right now and just let it resonate. And then, you'll spend the rest of your life trying to actually make this work. It's to do with the Muse. It's called the mystery. And more importantly, this point is that the mystery must not be diagnosed, but must be made space for. You get that? I'm going to say it over and over again. It's something I learnt during my many years with the Jungians, Carl Jung, where we looked at all of these mysterious ancient philosophies. So back to mystery and why it's important to think about what that word says. Mystery. The tension of it being unresolved and of you leaving it alone unresolved. That's the magic thing. You resist knowing the answer to mystery. You resist knowing the answer. That's when the big stupid thug, the intellect, rocks up and destroys the entire party. You, yes, you, that's the magic. The magic is in living with the unresolved tension, trusting and not knowing. Holding that energy in that not knowing, that's the entry point for awe and awesomeness. And that's where the insane creative elements come from awe and awesomeness of the unknown and the mystery that you can't resolve. The creative energy comes from you not being able to resolve it. Think about it. I often hear artists say, I don't care. I don't care what the world's doing. I just keep painting every day. What do you think they're doing? Why do we keep going back in there when all is lost and all the rest of it? We give up, we throw it away, and then we go back again. Why do we get so upset that it's not working out? For goodness sake, it's a stupid occupation, being an artist. It's so stupid. And yet we're there, we just push on. Look at us all here. So, the mystery. Maybe you're calling out, oh, that's the Muse. But you think that she's just for you. And that would be why she doesn't come around so much. Because you think you know who she is. So therefore, that mystery cannot exist, can it? It can't exist. It can't give you anything. I forbid you to diagnose the mysteries. Unresolved tension is the goal. It's the whole point. Killing that tension by solving mystery is like cutting the strings on a violin. You just get silence, not music. You pull it apart. Why does it make such a good music? And you try to play it, but you're not the artist. You're not the musician. And it doesn't make any music for you. The great artists, which is you, potentially, now, you know why you're a great artist? Because you are the violinist. You're the musician. You're the one that has the relationship with the mystery or the muse. And I'm not talking woo-wah-wah. This is actually real. It's just that the scientists can't pierce it. And by the way, this is what AI can't touch. It can't touch it. I've tested it. It's hilarious. Sorry to go on, but this is the most important thing you'll ever know about how to get soul back into your work. The tension of the mystery is the music. That's the art. It's not like a whole bunch of scratchy notes. It's actually where the music comes. I think a great example is cut the wings off a butterfly. You see it fluttering around in the light. It's just beautiful. So you want to examine it. So, you grab it and suffocate it to death in a jar and then peg it on a board and it all stops. Just these little flappy things. That's all you got. The magic of that animated life force as you watched it is gone. All the flickering colours in and out of the light, the sun, the shade, all gone. Understood, dissected and pinned under glass. And that's how it is for art. Don't think, do. Listen, smell, feel, act, dance, lash out, and trust the dark shapes on the wall, even if they terrify you. That's the key. Stop turning away from them just because they whisper. Listen harder, more loyally. Have a bit of faith. The thing that pisses me off more than anything now is all of these diagnosed mental disorders. You know what they are. There are some genuine, authentic issues, but honestly, there are many that are not. They just simply don't fit into, the standard operational mode of society. And so there is an attempt to nail them down, put them in a box, give them a label and a few drugs, and then so you operate better. It's really hard to have an occupation where you can use the irrational mysteries to actually make money. Don't underestimate it. It's really hard. That's what I keep saying. No wonder artists find other ways, other commercial ways to make money. And I have nothing against that. I've done it myself for years. You've got to get food on the table. Please don't misunderstand me. That's not what I'm here for, to tell you to stop doing that. Just take your dreams seriously. Leave the door open for the mystery. Stop treating these things like indulgences and folly, and they'll come to you and take you seriously if you take them seriously, and they'll deliver all their gifts from you not resolving the mysteries. It's really tricky. You need to just stop and think about it for a while without resolving the mysteries. Resist knowing and judging everything through the intellect. The intellect on its own is pretty much a deformed ape. It's an ignoramus. It's dead, it's flat. The intellect is exactly what AI is now. You ask it to start digging around on concepts of the soul itself, it can't. It will quote other people, of course. Yes, I have done some funny experiments. The stuff you can't nail down is the gold. That's the philosopher's stone. That's why I keep going on and on about alchemy and digging back into ancient mysteries, and it's all there. They put it forward in the stories back then. But here's the thing. Your resistance to nailing it down, you learning to hold off on that, is even more precious than the gold itself. So the hardest thing of all is for you to trust and let it come in without trying to nail it down. To leave the door open, it's like a hobo. It comes in and out when it wants to, and it'll come much more regularly. You're not worshipping, oogie boogies or something like that. You're actually accessing the full capacity of the human psyche. That's what you're doing. Very few people in the world do it or know how to do it and still stay sane. and defend that sanity. Here's something for you. Unrequited love is always better as far as the surge of power. Who doesn't remember that feeling? It used to drive me crazy, insane. What I couldn't have, I could not stop wanting, and I could not stop obsessing over. Oh, that's such a mental disorder. I love it. And even if the Muse won't wash your socks and bake your dinner, don't nail her down. Just make space for her to enter and exit. Not ever really knowing, but instead trusting. You've just got to open your heart and space in here and in here for her to enter. You've even got to create the dark corners for her to hide in. You never really know where she goes and when she leaves. It reminds me of the song Goodbye Ruby Tuesday. Always comes to mind when I think about this. Remember that song? It's just about loving the mystery, because it is the mystery. You long for it, you grieve its absence, but you won't respect how it breathes in you enough. We're drawn to it. I'm pulled to it like a compass to the north. If I can't get in touch with it when I'm painting, I will start writing. I'll do anything else, whatever the thing is. I'll listen to music. I don't care about the medium. I care about the feeling and the connection to that feeling. That's what it is. Painting is just a medium. It's just a thing you can do. It's just a car you can drive. The more important thing is for you to understand what this is. I just have this image of us reaching out. Artists are reaching out like blind men, grasping for it. Oh, it's his fault. It's your fault. It's my fault. I refer to that viral video it just showed me. You can feel its absence. It's like a grieving. It's like your best friend's died, but you can't name it. When I'm talking to some of my artist friends, it's as if there's this insult because it's not there. She or me, we're not inspired, so everything's gone. Our best friend's died. We act as if we don't know where it is. This is the crazy part, despite the fact that it's embedded in our DNA, right there. That's the hunger, isn't it? You're filled to the brim with the gold. Just drop the barriers. It's no one's fault but our own. It's right there. Blame someone if you want, but eventually just slam that door shut and go in there and reach right into that dark place. Take responsibility for it. And you can't really do that until you understand what this is. And then you can't understand it because it's a mystery. You've just got to have faith. It's faith. And it's actually really easy. You've just got to reach right into that dark place and feel it in your hands, all in here. It's yours and mine. She gets around. It's yours. It's all yours.